Welcome to MX Sim Insider. I'm your host, Joe Soller. This is episode number 4. Today we got lots of cool things on tap, so should be a good episode. Right off the bat, I want to talk about the DXB boys. They were featured in our first show, kind of for their grand opening, I guess you would say. They've had a little drama into the DXB Honda tent recently. DDMX released some render thing where you could take some screenshots. It would look really cool, actually. But there were some parts that he wasn't supposed to use, I guess. There were some shady areas anyway. Blah, blah, blah. People didn't like it. Checkers didn't like it either. He left Team DXB Honda. And the guys at DXB Honda kind of took the loss of Checkers by opening up a whole new team. So now they have Team DXB America and Team DXB Europe, which is pretty cool because there's a lot of European guys that never get to ride with the American guys. So a successful team like DXB branching out into other areas is really good. A lot of normal motocross teams do the same thing. So props to them. That's really how you got to take a loss, is really just going at 110% more. So that's good. Yeah, right now I'm just going to send you into the rider spotlight, and I'll see you back here.
Alright, it's time now for the rider spotlight, where I randomly select a rider from the server list and talk a little bit about them. So this time we got DeFox. His number is 101. Total races of 243. He won 74 of them. DNF 57. It's not very good. Hole shot at 60. His rating is a grand total of 63.51. Looks like JLV added a couple new trophies since the last time we talked. He's got the Checked Out Award for maintaining a 20-second lead for at least half the race, Hard Charger Award, Lawyer Win, and First Hole Shot and Participant. He's got a lot of Supercross track records. Seems to me like he likes Supercross, which is pretty good. Supercross is a real man's sport. Separates the boys from the girls. Yeah, he's got some pretty fast laps on those. He races a little bit custom tracks. Doesn't look like he goes any on the stock tracks, Lucas, but that's about it. Yeah, some 125 records. Still mixing his gas, which is cool. Yeah, lots of 250F records. So if you guys want to check out DeFox, his number is 101, and he's probably on the 03 server right now.
Alright, I want to talk to you a little bit about mxsimpits.com. It's recently got a whole revamp. We're now at .com, so we're kind of a big deal. You can check us out at www.mxsimpits.com, and our whole goal is to make it a one-stop shop for like your stuff you can't get at mxsimulator.com. So we're gonna have some setups. We have some tutorials in there already. We're working on tutorials. We have lots of good stuff, and also we have a pretty good community that works on a lot of stuff. So just started up an MX Simpits team, so if you guys want to check it out at www.mxsimpits.com, you can find lots of cool links to stuff. Yeah, so check us out. Right now I'm going to send you into a track review of the Hillside Supermoto made by Mace X. So yeah, well, enjoy. See you back here.
Alright, right now we're going to review the track Hillside Supermoto, just released by Mace X. It's a great track, like one of the best tracks released in a long time. We don't have a lot of Supermoto tracks. I can probably count them all on one hand, so it's really nice to have a good Supermoto out. I put quite a few laps into this track, and I feel like he really nailed the feel really well. When you're on pavement, it feels like pavement, and when you're on dirt, it really does feel like dirt. And when you throw in the Supermoto tires for the looks, it feels great. So yeah, it's a really good track. The road sections, it feels like I'm riding Taurus Trophy, and then I jump on the dirt, and it feels like I'm riding MXS again. It's really cool. I can't say how much enough I like it. There's a shit ton of custom objects in here. The rails and the barriers, and it's really eye-pleasing just to go like you're really riding through the mountains, and I really enjoyed that. Even like the yellow lines on the side of the road. Everything. A few things I didn't like about the track. Where there was no collision on almost all the objects. I don't think there's any collision. It would have been nice to have a little bit of collision, just to spice things up a bit. And the make a map thing, that's one of my big pet peeves. He put so much time into this track, and the track looks so good, and not having a track map, something so small as a track map, just kind of ruins it for me, because it's not the whole package. I think it would be really cool if on the paved section in the traction maps, if you could do part of the pavement really sticky, and then when you start to get to the outside, like where dust and debris is, it's not so like slick, like it's a little bit slipperier and stuff. That's another thing I would have liked to see in the future, but other than that, I know he put so much time into this track, and it really shows through in all the objects and the way that the track rides and everything. So I'm looking forward to having some really good races on this. And this is Hillside Supermoto by mxsimpits. Check it out. Leave your review for him. I'm sure he'd like it.
Alright, it's time now for some racing. Right off the bat, we're going to talk about the night session series ran by Sween Doggy. Let me just say, I tried to race it, but man, was it tough. There was so many people there. It was just crazy. Like, mad props to Sween Doggy. I just don't know how he does it. Like, trying to run an event like that would give me nightmares for years. Like, just... Anyway. So we're going to run through the results of the A class. Barry from Team DXB finished first in the 250F class. Knapp second. Tyler in third. So 2 privateers in the top 3. Nice to see. Barry swept the 125 and 250. So Barry first in 125. Shaq second, and DJ Deal in third. So Team DXB taking 2 of the top 3 spots. In the B class, for the 250F class, we have his name, I guess, is 736. Dylan and Dar. Quite the name. With the 125, 736 again swept the 125 and 250. We got Midbeck, I guess, or Hammer and Hammer. Sorry. And in the C250 class, we got 285. I don't know nobody runs names anymore, I guess. They're all just about numbers, I guess. Maybe it's the schooling these days, I don't know. Tackle Rat in second, and Brina in third. 125, we got MX Suarez. Why does anybody have normal names, like Joe? And then Sam in second, and Moto for Life in third. Yeah, so that's good. The racing was good, tight, competitive, really tight, lots of carnage. I was called dirty, but I really wasn't dirty. I was just playing out of control. That's the whole feeling I felt the whole race was just out of control. So if I took anybody out, I'm sorry. We're going to send you into a race recap now of round 4 of the Ironman series. So see you back here. Oh yeah, by the way, that's super pumped.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! I'm just kidding. This is the Iron Man series, mxsimpits. We're going to run through this highlight reel Moto X Jeff threw together, so thanks again, Moto X Jeff. As the gate drops, Kawasaki's off to a blistering start as Kenda tires are really hooking up. He's heading down the whoops in first, Moto X Jeff in second, Joe Soller in third, Oz fourth, and MX196 had troubles on the start. I think his Yamaha stalled there. Yeah, so I don't know. After the first lap, Kawasaki's in first. Moto X Jeff, Moto X Jeff, Oz, Joe Soller, and MX196. Kawasaki stretches out a demanding section lead after the second lap on Moto X Jeff, followed by Joe Soller, Oz, and MX196. Moto X Jeff comes off the finish line sweeper and bobbles a little bit, goes down, and lets Joe Soller sneak by for second place. So our running order right now is Kawasaki, Joe Soller, Moto X Jeff, Oz, and MX196. Kawasaki moves up the lap, some people, plows through the whoops, shows a little style off the finish line jump. Kawasaki's got his head down. He knows he has to make up 5 points on Joe Soller in order to clinch the title. So he's really hoping for some lappers to get in the way of Joe maybe, and maybe get third place. He needs 1 position in between him and Joe. So Joe's closing up on another lapper. He's trying to gain some precious time on Kawasaki. Kawasaki bobbles a little bit in the sweeper here. Joe Soller gains some time. So right now we're about 5-6 seconds in between first and second. The lappers here, MX196 and Oz having a good battle. Oz goes down, leaving the door open for MX196. Joe Soller down, closes the gap to about a half a section now. He's really fighting the roost in this arena cross. It's a really rocky clay soil built here in the Showtime Arena. So yeah, it's pretty hard when you're fighting through the lappers, but he's got lots of tear-offs on, so I'm sure he'll get through it. MX196 moving on some lappers, Joe Soller moving on some lappers. So Kawasaki, Joe Soller right behind Kawasaki, but bobbles, does a flip, and lands back on his wheels, so he's back on the road. Kawasaki gets tangled up, goes down, brings down MX196 with him, and Joe Soller sneaks by for first place. So right now Joe Soller's in the lead, not what Kawasaki wanted to see, seeing that this being the last round, but only halfway through the race a lot can happen in 10 laps. So Joe Soller stretching out the lead a little bit on Kawasaki to about half a section. Looking pretty good through those whoops. The Kawasaki seems to be looking a little quicker. Moto X Jeff, leaders coming up on Moto X Jeff. By the way, Moto X Jeff's best lapper I ever met, I think. He pulls over every time, which is really good. Joe Soller, Boner airing it over the finish line. Kawasaki throwing down some style, so we know who has the confidence in this race. Joe Soller bobbling on the whoops, Kawasaki plowing through it. These two are teammates. They ride together quite a bit, so they know how each other rides, so it's interesting to see how the race plays out. So we go on to another lap with pretty much the same pace of Joe Soller and Kawasaki, but Kawasaki bobbles in the sweeper here. He's having trouble with that soil in that corner all night, so hopefully he can put it together and finish this thing. Joe Soller overshoots the finish line jumps, goes over the berm and falls over. He gets that Kawasaki started right off the bat though. He doesn't lose too much ground, but unfortunately Kawasaki gets by him, and Joe Soller's back on the Kawasaki, FSK Kawasaki, heading down the start straight. So that Kawasaki bobbles and flips and doesn't get back up. Joe Soller sneaks around the outside and gets by for the lead. And Kawasaki got a little dazed after that. I think he lost his goggles. He wasn't able to catch back up to Joe Soller. So Joe Soller grabs the win, grabs the title. So the running order is Joe Soller first, Kawasaki second, MX196 in third, Oz in fourth, and Moto X Jeff in fifth.
Alright, that brings us to the end of episode number 4. Thanks for watching. I'd like to give a big shout out to Enzo Person for hooking me up with the beats at the first of the song. Did a lot of work on that, so I'd like to thank him. I'd like to thank Moto X Jeff for whipping up that highlight video for me. Thank all you guys for watching. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy your holidays, your Christmas, your Kwanzaa. I don't know what else there is, but hopefully you guys get your dirt bikes for Christmas that you're all been asking for. I'll keep my fingers crossed. So if I don't see you before then, happy holidays.